So I found a much rather interesting article. It says Warner Music streaming revenues leap up 20% year on year in calendar quarter one. Now, what is a quarter? Quarter is just the first 3 months in the fiscal year, January, February, March. Now, big companies, they measure their earnings in quarters. So let's get into the article and I'll break down what everything means. So today, May 4th, Warner Music Group announces its fiscal results for the first 3 months to the end of March, its fiscal quarter two, but calendar quarter one. Quarterly recorded music revenues, including digital and physical sales and ancillary income, surged above $1 billion at 1.059 billion, up 16.8%. This is really, really crazy because a lot of the music revenue in the music industry have been coming from streaming. I read an article the other day that pointed out the fact that 60% of revenue is made from streaming. Now let's get back into the article. Within this recorded music figure was 722 million from streaming, like I said, a number which was up 23.2% year over year. Now, in comparison to calendar quarter one, 2020. So last year, from this year, 2020 to 2021, their music streaming income rose 23%. And again, this is important because now we're starting to see other things like venture capital firms and investment groups, pension plans and hedge funds starting to buy people's catalog. Why did Wayne sell his catalog for $100 million? Why are these big bands selling half of their catalogs? Because their catalogs are worth more than ever now because of streaming revenue, and people being at home and being able to have the ability to stream. It's up. So people are now starting to get out of their catalogs. But the part is these hedge funds are making money because the music has become such a property that's grown in revenue that people understand that the music is going to continue to grow year over year. They're getting out of such asset vehicles such as real estate and getting into music and having music be a part of their catalog. Even big investment firms such as BlackRock, which is one of the biggest in the world, is now starting to buy catalogs. Now, this is important. Now, let's get back into the article. Warner said that this bump in streaming revenue partly reflected accelerated growth in emerging streaming platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, and Peloton. Now, I want to point this out because social media platforms have become streaming services now. But the weird part about it is that we don't understand what kind of deal they have structured with the distributors. You can't find it anywhere. You know, as an artist, when you upload your stuff to your distributor gets around 25 to 30%, but we don't know the kind of deals or what kind of fluctuating deals they have with these social media platforms, or if we're in a certain tax bracket or become a certain popular artist, what we get paid off our music being on their platform. And another thing that I want to point out is if you're on TikTok, right, for example, and you upload your own music, you don't even get paid a royalty unless it's going directly through a distributor, which gets 30%. This is why that we have to take the power back into our own hands and understand what we're doing when it comes to dealing with our music and dealing with our music as a property. Because to put our property on a distributing platform just to get to a social media platform and not understand what kind of deal is in place is absolutely ludicrous, right? So let's get back into the article. Another important element of Warner's recorded music tally, physical music sales were up 25.5% year over year to 118 million in the quarter. This means that physical sales didn't do as well as streaming revenue. We know with the advent of music technology that, and streaming revenue and streaming songs that number was going to go down. Warner said that its biggest selling artists for recorded music in the quarter included Dua Lipa, Michael Bublé, Ed Sheeran, Ava Max, and the Japanese rock band The Yellow Monkeys. Okay, so it says Warner Music Group's publishing operation, Warner Chappell Music, grew its revenue to generate 192 million in calendar quarter one, 2021, up 15.7%. The star performer for Chapel in the quarter was digital revenues, which climbed by 30 million versus the same period of 2020. Overall, Warner Music Group revenues across recorded music, music publishing, and more hit $1.25 billion in the quarter, up 16.7% year over year. Steve Cooper, CEO of Warner Music Group, said following a strong first quarter, I'm happy to report that our momentum continues in fiscal quarter two, and our business is stronger than ever. Despite the ongoing pandemic, we generated double-digit revenue growth in both recorded music and music publishing. Now, what does this mean to you? And why is this even relevant or even important? Because I know so many artists that are struggling now that we had a pandemic and it's basically destroyed their career. They don't have any performing revenue, meaning that they can't hit any venues. They're barely doing clubs, but the label is doing great. We have to establish ourselves more as businesses so we can reap the same benefits as them. Even not understanding how this streaming revenue breaks down affects us because it's our property. But as a business, I can't hate on them either, because when you become a business and you intend to acquire property, you want to be able to maintain and have growth. But it should be an even playing field. Artists should educate themselves enough to know what the hell is going on. So let's get back into it. Our success was driven by chart-topping new releases from our incredible artists and songwriters, as well as bold and imaginative execution from our world-class operators. We're excited about the rest of the year as we have a fantastic slate of new music coming from established superstars and emerging talent. I bet you do, because you want to make more streaming revenue. I'm happy to report that okay, so let's get into the other, what he said. Eric Levin, Executive Vice President and CFO of Warner Music Group, added, in the second quarter, the continued strength of our core streaming business was bolstered by impressive growth in revenue from emerging streaming platforms, which drove healthy margins and free cash flow. These new streaming platforms include Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Peloton, because more streaming revenue is popping up. The more people spend on social media platforms, the more we're introduced to new music, more deals that they're able to make with those platforms to get paid. But the thing is, as musicians, they're selling us out because we don't understand how these deals are structured. Neither do we have a say-so. We look forward to delivering long-term value as we continue to invest in culture, shifting talent, innovative technology, and dynamic new partnerships. Now, the whole point of me reading this article and showing you guys this is that we have to take our craft more seriously. Not just the music side, not just fall in love with the music and the art, but also look at our music like a business, to make sure that we look at it like a property, to understand what we can do with this property. Look at your business like a house or a car or any kind of leverageable asset that we can go out and make money from. It's growing because streaming platforms are growing. We have to understand that we have to position ourselves as businesses, as publishing companies. We have to have entities to hold our assets, and we have to do more, because at the end of the day, nobody gives a you-know-what about us. We shouldn't give a you-know-what about them. So it's Fedarro. If you like this video, make sure to like and comment. What are some of your perspectives on what's going on in the music industry? What are you doing about your streaming revenue? How are you positioning yourself to make as much money as you can off of your music? Now, I'm going to be having some courses. I'm going to be having educational things to teach you guys how to structure your business, your music as a business in the future. If you click in the links down below, you're going to see some of that stuff. As well as I have other courses if you want to learn how to make music fast, easy, and quick with very little knowledge. Click the link below. But it's your boy Fedarro. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm out of here.